I don't even know what to do.
Oh, this is gonna be awful.
I already started. So,
Oh god.
welcome to the Weekly Shonen Recap. This week's list: Black Clover, Doctor Stone, and My Hero Academia. Starting off, Black Clover.
Okay, so in this Black Clover chapter, we continue the cliffhanger from last chapter with Noelle stabbing Vonica. With
And
what is
being
it?
basically naked for whatever reason. Like, do you remember when that happened?
Yeah, that was really
Like,
weird.
no, like, when did it happen? Like, where did her clothes go? I don't know.
It really did. Like,
But
I
this is a
noticed
thing
that.
that's there. So,
It's like, oh, she gets the mermaid form, and then when she's knocked out, like all the water goes away, and she's just naked. I guess it dissolved her clothing.
I,
I
I don't
guess.
know. Like, did she lose her clothing before they activated the mermaid form of her armor? Or
I
was it?
don't think
Or did
so.
she get naked to do that? Like, I don't. I literally can't follow this part.
Because her regular Valkyrie armor doesn't do that.
No, not at
When
all.
she when she
It,
used
it
in that
applies
fight
on
with the
top of
arrow.
her robe and her other clothing, which is
Mhm.
admittedly, since she always uses it like halfway into a battle, it's usually ripped or something at that point. But she's never been this naked before in
Mhm.
recent memory.
It's like it feels like a fairy tale thing. It's like poor Lucy.
I mean,
Oh,
she reminds me too much of Lucy at the moment.
I was thinking that. I've been
But
thinking
were
that for
you
the last few
shocked
chapters.
at all when Vonica was like, "Oh, I'm ignoring actually solving my problems right now"? I'm immediately gonna be like, "Oh, you remind me of the girl I fought like I don't know how many years ago, 20?
Which was her mom, right?
Yeah, it's her mom. And apparently she kidnapped a child in order to make her fight better." Which did they even say if it was one of her kids?
I don't think so. I think they just said I kidnapped this kid to make her come
Yeah,
after
it
me.
kidnapped a child.
Hmm.
And then she's going to steal Lilo Pickup to make her fight better. When honestly, it's mean, but literally you could kill her and take Mimosa and do the same thing.
Hmm.
That feels
So
like the safer, better bet. Like if you were her, wouldn't you do that? You were here to kill her anyways, and you want to fight the strong girl. So rationally,
you would think accomplish your goal
but
and
I'm
do
trying to
something
apply
else.
rationality to an insane woman, so
And she set up those bombs with their different subjects. Oh,
honestly,
I got ahead of myself on that one, I guess. But
no.
still,
That
it's.
was where I was gonna go next. So
Oh, okay.
she doesn't care about them anymore, so she's leaving and she's setting off the bombs. Honestly, I think that if it's going the route I'm thinking it is, and like what she held captive was actually somehow Noelle,
Mhm.
then I think it has something to do with the blood curse bombs.
That makes sense.
Like, was she threatening to implode freaking Noelle in her womb?
I could.
Like, that's not a far jump for this series.
Oh no!
Like, let's
Especially
look
with
at
this
the Witch
character.
Queen for half a
It's like she
second.
don't care. Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the most hype part of the entire chapter, Dante thinking that, oh, well, he's going to be impressed if I go to 100% power. And then you.
He's just like, oh, I'll use a bit more.
He's like,
I'll flex my arm
don't.
muscle.
He'll show you the power of a human. I swear to God, we've never seen the man break a sweat before. He is the
What's funny?
Kenpachi Zaraki of Black Clover.
What's funny is you say that. I checked his face. He wasn't even like sweating.
He
He
doesn't
just has a
care.
regular.
Like, let's think about every other major fight he's had this series as well. He didn't
Mhm.
care. The only time he cared is whenever he got put in timeout until he learned how to cheat.
Like when he, like no scope the devil dude from like 3 floors down and
Yeah, he
won the
didn't.
battle pretty much.
I don't even think he cared that much during then.
He's
He
like, might
cared
as well
more
try it.
whenever freaking what's her name?
Was it
Siscolia.
Charlotte?
Let's just go with Siscolia because we pissed her
Oh,
off.
okay.
Mereoleona,
Yeah, yeah.
Pargoleon, Margoleon, Siscoleon, Brogoleon.
Man, that's one thing I love about Black Clover. I love the humor in it. Like
Oh,
the guy knows how to make some funny stuff.
that absolutely, the captain doesn't give a single crap what they think about him.
Mm. You know what's funny to
I
me? I was
loved his
thinking about
stupid
this.
little power thing. Oh, what were you saying?
I was thinking how it was interesting. Like last chapter, I think it was Vonica. Was it? I know we're talking about this chapter, but it's just something I noticed in the previous one. I think
Mm-hmm.
was Vonica goes up like 1%. I think she's at like 50, and she goes up to 51, and it's such a massive jump. And
Yeah,
then
that
even
was
stuff like
really dumb.
Dante,
Like, why did you
like I
double
thought that was
power at
good.
1%? That doesn't make any sense based off of everything else you've done so far. Because weren't you at 20% when this all started?
I think so. I don't think she went.
Yeah,
I think
so
she started at
I'm
like
not
20.
understanding. Like, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to hype her up
Hmm.
because obviously she left, and
Hmm.
we could Noelle did learn that new power right before she left, right while the bombs are going off.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
she's trying to leave, so that sets her up as one of the bigger villains in this arc. Meanwhile, Dante is probably going to get murdered.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, she went up 1% and got so much stronger, and Dante's going up like 10 or 20% at a time, and he
Not
can't
only
even
that, isn't
keep
her
up.
devil magic split up across her dark disciples?
I think so. That might be why she blew him up at the end. Well, partly to cause destruction and to get her power back. I think.
I think it was mostly because she doesn't see you as a threat or anything
Mhm.
strong, you're trash immediately. So she got rid of them.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think she
so
said
the
that.
side
It's like I
effect is
never.
probably she does get back some of her devil power.
Mhm. It's like when you're playing a game and you like put out a resource and then you don't use it, so you just pick it back up.
Pretty much,
Kind of like that.
like it's like I don't. Trying to think of a good analogy in another series or anything, but it's like it's like when you remake like a mana investment in like a defense tower game into a
Hmm.
thing to power it up temporarily. That seems
Oh
like
yeah.
what she did, but she also could use just like self-destruct it if she needed to.
Hmm. And you wouldn't waste the resource.
But
Hmm.
meanwhile, in the background, we still have stuff going on with Gray, Venetia, Gauche, and the unconscious main protagonist.
I love that so much. It's like you got all the ladies like fighting, or not all of them, but like Mimosa and Laura Pachica and even Secker, which honestly, once I heard that name said out loud, I hate it. Like that
I've
name,
been calling her
I
like Nero back again in my head.
hmm I hate the name Secker. Like I like Swallowtail, but Secker sounds really weird to
It's
me
hard to say,
every
to
time.
be honest.
Mm.
Like I don't remember how to pronounce it a lot of times whenever I'm reading it, so my autofill in when I see that with Nero, and I know that's not her name, but that was her name for so long. I feel like it's fine.
It's like if he cared, he would have kept something else at a point. But it's
Which
like
is weird
you
because
got
she's
all the
honestly one of my favorite Black Bulls.
honestly, yeah. I was just like even in the small time she's been part of the group, I already
Yeah,
like her
her
more
and
than
Zora
most of
were
them.
like took over people as their favorite almost immediately as soon as they come in. More
I did not
understandably with
expect to
Zora.
like Zora that much.
Yeah, because
Like I
he's a
saw him,
dick
I'm like, I'm gonna hate
immediately.
this
He's
girl.
just awful. Oh, he turned into one of the best characters. Okay.
Mm. But like you got all that, and then like Asta got what like 3-hit comboed
Pretty
out of the
much.
whole
After
thing.
going to what is he, like 60% now?
I wouldn't say 60 because he was at less than 50 before he like in his old demon form. So I'd
Yeah,
say he's probably like
50 or so.
50. Hmm. That's my guess because
Honestly,
they
yeah,
said
but
before I think it
even
was.
then, like this, we don't know how his devil scales.
Mhm.
because it's straight up a weird devil. It's an anti-magic devil. Every other devil we've seen so far is not anti-magic.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally seems like a devil designed for fighting devils.
You know, I heard a theory. I can't remember where I heard it, but I heard a theory. I think it was on Reddit somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But that he's kind of like Asta. He was ostracized for his ability. Like Asta has no magic, so is ostracized. Whereas this devil is an anti-magic devil, so they kind of fit together. Like kind of a thing. Like maybe that's why he
also
chose.
wants to take over him. Yeah, I can kind of see it.
I don't know. I saw that and thought it was interesting because it could be why he's so different.
But what do you think? We're probably not going to cut back to Vanessa for a couple chapters based off of how the end looks like it's going. But
did you say
what do you
Vanessa
think that new
again?
power? What?
You said Vanessa again.
Oh, I'm sorry, Noelle. I don't know why. I'm confusing her with the drunk one. I don't know.
It's just so funny to hear because we're talking about that earlier.
I'm not
You
wrong
just kept
with
saying
character
Vanessa.
names that often, but this time I cannot do it.
It's so funny. But what was your question? I'm sorry.
What do you think her new power is going to be? I honestly think it's going to be some upgrade to her armor.
Do you think they would give her that many upgrades though? Because like we went from Valkyrie to Mermaid.
Well,
Do you
the
think
mermaid
they-
thing was temporary using Undine's power. There's a lot of theories that she's about to have Undine, which Luca's not dead. I don't see how that's going to happen. And she's unconscious as far as I'm aware, so I don't see how she could give over Undine.
You know, I do wonder though because like, didn't Fauna when they brought her because Fauna had Salamander.
Yeah.
And then Fulgolion got Salamander. But did he get it after she died or from the clone? Because didn't the clone still have it? Or the not clone, but the new body Fauna?
I think it was honestly whenever they beat it, the third eye version. Like whenever
in the Forest of Witches.
Yeah, whenever they beat her in the Forest of Witches, I think she lost this ability to use Salamander.
Oh, okay. It's been a while since I...
Because I don't remember seeing her right after that with the Salamander, and then he comes pretty much right after that with it. Even though
he comes like right out of this.
Before then. It's like, did we care if Fulgolia was coming back? We want to say yes, but really no.
At least he made a cool entrance. I mean, I like the character. It's just... He wasn't
he was cool,
hyped entrance.
but he was supposed to be like this big brotherly kind of character that had a rivalry with Nozel. But we got a better one. We got a much better one.
It's so funny how like he can make characters that just upstage other characters.
Oh, like, so easily too.
It's like we got Mare Leona, and she's one of my favorite characters in the whole series, and she just like makes Fulgolion look like a chump.
I love what she did with the elves.
Like she soloed like 5 of them at once.
And insulted them for not bringing enough.
I mean,
Shadow, do you remember the raid on freaking the Third Eye's base? Where she's like burning the ground as she's walking through it, and she's like, bad move.
I remember that, yeah.
Oh, God. Moving on, we should probably start talking about Dr. Stone.
Oh, yeah. Wait, did we even mention that we were going to talk about that one?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Okay.
We said Black Clover, Dr. Stone, and
yeah, and then
Hero
it's going to be My
right?
Hero Academia this week, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I guess I spaced out at some point. I lost it.
Where do we even start with Dr. Stone, though?
We got a lot of good
because honestly, this comes across at the moment as like a stream of consciousness thing. We get the whole thing of how Senku met he in the back. Yeah, what am I trying to say? In the whole
the backstory.
Yeah, in the whole backstory, he's almost exclusively referred to as Dr. X. But he's the only one who's taking Senku seriously, even though because Senku set an overly wordy, overly scientific paper at like the age of 8 to NASA whenever they're expecting to answer simple, basic questions on why is the sky blue?
Why are you
Is the
sending a
moon
monkey
made out
into
of
space?
cheese? Meanwhile, how do I use an oscillatory adapter in order to solve the heating issue with this component? And they're like, what? This isn't a child. This is North Korea in disguise.
North Korea just sending NASA science tips. Oh,
And, he gives him very specialized tips, and especially telling him about the specific equipment he needed. He gave him the short answer, and then he told him how to get the answer. And then whenever he started teaching Senku after he had him buy all that expensive equipment, that was one of my favorite scenes of the entire thing, when he flies to America to steal the credit card to fly away.
oh, that was.
Oh my god.
I love Dr.
He's like,
Stone, man.
when are you coming back when the credit card's maxed out? And he literally comes back when the credit card got maxed. But then you find out the whole science is elegant thing is how he ends all his letters. But as a complete counterpoint to that, the guy only thinks about weaponry and how the science is used as weaponry, which is the opposite of Senku.
Mm.
And then
like his whole thing is like, oh, I want to be a dictator, and it's like,
yeah, that's what I was getting to. The whole thing of like, the whole reason they're both know all of this information isn't just because he told Senku you need to learn every bit of science, because you need to know which, you'll never know what answers you need. You need to figure out how to get answers. But it's a what-if scenario from NASA on what would you do if you were transported to the Stone World, and this dude's like, I'll rule over them with an iron fist to become a dictator, destroying all others.
I feel like they need better psych evaluations.
Exactly. Like, are you not going to get, take you to the mental institution for this?
Like, he's had that answer prepared. He's been rehearsing.
Yeah, if that's your first answer, not only did you have an answer prepared, so you're already a slightly psychotic. Like, everybody's had that thought of, oh, what would I do with blank? But it's never a detailed, multi-stage, multi-level plan. Unless you're psychotic, especially when your plan is to be dictator of the world. By bringing back all forms of advanced weaponry and ruling with our iron fist.
It's like going back to caveman times with a machine gun. It's like...
But we get to see the weird thing, Senku's not even there for that, what-if scenario, but he's for some reason having the same thing. We see how he made the medication. He goes, how to make sulfa drugs. For no reason, he's just oh, this would be useful if somebody was suffering from pneumonia. It was like, why are you specifically looking for this except plot convenience?
I thought it was
in
interesting.
Africa to go study Ebola, and then everywhere else to study everything on freaking Earth by the age he's 16.
He was prepared.
Oh, prepared.
There's a part of me that thinks okay, this is all a big sign that they knew something was going on. Honestly. Or it could just be for plot.
And it's not even like this gives us new details on which to figure out where this arc's going. It's going the same place it was looking like it was going beforehand. Senku will do anything minus killing. The other guy will do anything that involves killing.
So when they first get there and they got the machine guns.
Yeah, and they're using advanced, actual military guerrilla-style tactics, with the measuring with the dresses and stuff. Using a reference point, that's a thing the military actually does. Now, peeing in a bottle on top of a tree with 1,000 water bottles, I'm not sure if they do that. The dude literally has a catheter, I think they said.
Oh my god.
He's prepared to lay there with all those water bottles until he gets his shot.
Well, I have heard of the nest getting pretty crazy, but I don't think it's ever been that like
Yeah, you've heard
intense.
of like long scale waiting games between snipers. There was a lot of
Mm,
stories about that during like Vietnam and World War II. Like
mm.
a sniper had waited for forever until he stood up to go like pee or something, and he got immediately taken down by a counter sniper. That's the story from World War II.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that one.
But it's that, or anybody who's seen the movie Platoon knows anything about that kind of stuff.
You know, I've never seen that movie.
There's a sniper, I think his name's God. Anyways,
Are you serious?
yeah.
That's pretty great.
But we already knew that was going to happen. We know they're going to make a reconnaissance plane because they're not going to make an advanced warplane.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to make a spy plane out of the plane. They're going to make an aircraft carrier. We don't know what Gein's going to do. We don't know what Chrome is exactly going to do. We know he's going to do something, probably the field reconnaissance.
Mm-hmm.
Because they need to find a way to communicate without using open radio signals. So he's obviously going to make some kind of reconnaissance communication. Probably some form of Morse code or something.
Mm. Like
I
a better version of that old telephone they made.
Well, they can't use the radio waves, so they can't use the telephone. Because he's listening to that. So, unless he somehow discovers how to make like a scrambler or something. Which, to be fair, I rule that out like it's not going to happen, but that's totally something that could happen.
It's just like, oh, I'll make a scrambler now. Like, that'll be the next chapter. The first thing he says is like, I gotta do this.
I would be mad. But then there obviously Kohaku's going to play like Ninja. Like, the perfect character to play Ninja is already standing right outside the place. Like, anybody who thinks Chrome's going in on the rescue mission and not Kohaku, you're high out of your mind. But, yeah, we don't have any new information still. It's the same plan. We know that he's trying to win over the one girl, but that kind of already seems like it's working. So even that's not changed already. I honestly don't. There's not much to talk about with the fact that we don't have anything new. As opposed to My Hero Academia, where the chapter, little happens, but there's a lot of small things to talk about.
Mm-hmm. It's more of like, do you want to go ahead and start on that one?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and switch over to My Hero.
Okay. It's like with that one, it's more of like seeing what Shigaraki can do again, which is just more setup for like seeing getting all the pieces in place at this point, pretty much. Especially with how the chapter ends, but we'll get to that. But it's just, we get to see Aizawa do a really cool moment, which is nice.
It's both cool and at the same time, it's exactly what's expected, and I was hoping to be surprised. The one thing that was really cool was the whole all the heroes having to work in tandem. Like, we got to see that Endeavor sidekick. I don't think we've ever seen before. The guy who could redirect motion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was a cool power.
I love how specific some of these are, though. It's like they just have to fit. You know, like his sidekick can redirect motion. It's a good sidekick form, but that power is so like specifically odd.
It would be that
can redirect motion.
Yeah, it explains why he's a sidekick, though. Like,
I mean, yeah, he's a good sidekick. It's just amusing.
Yeah, he would be a terrible hero, to be honest. Unless he's like slamming villains into concrete blocks because they're flying or something. I don't know.
Which, honestly, if he could figure out a way to make that work, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, he'd be like decently useful against somebody like Hood, I guess. But in general, he just wouldn't make it as a hero. But he makes a great sidekick. Like, think about how he would work with like Gran Torino or even Izuku.
Mm-hmm.
or freaking Bakugo. Bakugo will work great with him. Just being around there, he's honestly a really good support. He just would make a terrible combat hero, which is why he's not. But the Dragon Lady is there. She's kind of not doing anything except working as a taxi. But Manuel has that cool little moment of showing other ways out of the box ways of working in tandem with another hero's ability. He's hydrating his eyes so that he doesn't have to blink. But he has to keep it up at the constant rate, otherwise it will force Aizawa to blink.
I thought that was a neat moment.
And then we get to see that all the powers that Shigaraki got, not all of them are something that can be erased. Like, he's technically part Nomu, so he has a lot of physical attributes now. Like, he couldn't erase his increased speed, his increased reflexes, his increased strength. They borderline thought he was All Might because of how strong he is, but he's not that powerful. But he was definitely enough to take down Endeavor. Even though he got one of his arms incinerated, he knows the second that Aizawa can't look at him, that'll grow back.
And it's like he doesn't even care. After all the experiments, it's like, oh, my arm.
Then he does the whole like fist up thing to mock him. And then he jumps directly for Aizawa. And then did Deku kick him at the end?
I don't think so.
Because honestly, that was the first chapter I read, so it's the most hazy to me.
I don't think he did, from what I remember. It was just like an air kick thing. He didn't actually like kick him. Maybe it looked like more of a distance kick.
Like Air Force kind of thing?
Yeah, like an Air Force thing.
Can he do Air Force with his feet?
He did it when he was at the road, didn't he? Like when Shigaraki started crumbling the ground.
I guess there's nothing keeping him from doing it. Those things on it, the gauntlets, they only help him focus it. He could do like All Might, and All Might could literally punch a tornado and make a tornado. So he could definitely kick and make a strong enough wind. But he can get up to, what is it, like now, 40%? Or was it 50%? He's one of the two now.
40. He used 40 on the road, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I know he used 40 on the road, but I think that's his max at the moment.
Yeah, they said right after that, like, that was his... It's not even really his max, because he can't keep that one up. That's the highest he can do without breaking, and he can only do it for small periods of time. But, yeah, he could definitely do, like, a wind kick, I guess. That probably is what he did. And then Bakugo comes in during the same moment. So that's going to be useful. But they also explained they can't take him any farther. He's far enough away from the town, he's no longer dangerous to the town. But any farther away, and it helps Shigaraki. So they're at the maximum limit of where they can take him, and they need to take him down.
Oh, and then on top of that, we get Gigantomachia coming.
Yeah, he's coming to kill everything.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Seeing how that works.
Oh, it's going to be
I mean, we've never seen that.
Because he's going to walk right... He's still in the manor. The manor is to... What was it? To the south of the town, I think? So he has to walk the entire town in order to come to him. And he has orders to kill everyone.
So it's pretty much like Doomsday from the DC comics. Just walking through town.
And then besides just that, since Shigaraki can control his decay, he used it to save and as many of the high ends, or near high ends is what they're calling them, the ones that were in the test tubes. And then apparently
they weren't as good as high end, but they're close enough.
Yeah, and they needed an electrical impulse to be like go out of their cages, so that's why he did the radio wave attack. Was just basically hit the release button on them.
And he didn't get to save all of them, according to the chapter. He could only save a few, but he saved, it looks like
it's going to tie up with them, like because there's 50 pro heroes, I think is what they said. Then there's Izuku and Bakugo and Gran Torino. So 53 people that we know of there. It's probably going to be just under that in Nomu.
Yeah, it showed a lot in that double page of the
Off the top of
Nomo.
my head, I can remember at least 12 like unique designs.
Hmm.
And these aren't just humanoid ones, like we were talking about earlier. There's one that basically looks like Guts' spirit form, and then there's that one that looks like a woman, and the one that looks like a ninja.
I like the ninja one. It is so weird.
Yeah, they got some crazy designs, but there's nothing like the transporting toad thing. So at least it doesn't look like there's any easy way for them to get out. But
It looked like they were already they were above ground, weren't they?
yeah, they're all above
They were,
ground,
weren't they?
and
Okay.
they cannot. Aizawa can't afford to look away from Shigaraki, because Shigaraki will just straight out destroy them all with the Nether Decay Blast if he looks away.
Mhm.
So they have to keep him mobile, keep his eyes hydrated. So that already takes 3 of them just to do that. Endeavor is out of the count at the moment. Probably will get back up, but even if he does, he's devoted to fighting Shigaraki. Izuku's going to be fighting Shigaraki. Bakugo's going to be fighting Shigaraki.
So that leaves everybody else to fight.
Every other pro hero is going to be turning around on that. And we don't have Crust there, because he's dead.
Oh, poor Chris.
Yeah, Crust was cool.
He had a cool final
honestly,
moment.
he looks like Hawkeye from the comics.
You know, I thought he looked familiar, and now that you mentioned that, I could see
Yeah, I saw Hawkeye immediately as soon as I saw him, but he has the whole Captain America shield throwing, so so we know he's out. Mirako is out. Unless the Dragon Lady puts Aizawa down, she's out. So that's a lot of the top 10s that just cannot fight at the moment. Wash isn't there. He was evacuating that hospital.
He's our savior.
To be honest, he's literally like the best to fight Gigantomachia, and I think he's going to help like Uraraka with him.
That would be cool.
Because those two could literally bubble him and float him away. Like, it would technically, it wouldn't stop him, but it would stop him.
Enough to just, okay, we can worry about this later.
They can contain the threat. They can't stop the threat, but they can at least choose where it is. So between those two, there's those options. There's everything that's happening over at the manor, which is Mountain Lady, Fat Gum. What is his name? I can never think of his hero name. Kaminari, and
what is his hero name? I completely forgot. Oh, I can't remember. Isn't Kirishima there? Or am I thinking of something else?
I think he was in charge of protecting like Jiro and the rest of like the support group. Which, please don't hurt her. Please. This has been my favorite character since the very first time I saw her. Stop it. Her and Kaminari were my instant favorites, and then they never did anything with Kaminari until 200 chapters almost later.
The only thing we really got with Kaminari was like he shocks himself into being like brain dead.
Yeah, and then we find out that literally if he carried like a stun gun on him, he could overcharge himself and avoid the effect. Why hasn't he done this yet? Like, you're the whole punk rocker aesthetic thing. Why are you not wearing like a shot collar on your arm like a bracelet?
Yeah, that'd be a cool design choice.
Yeah, like the hero 2 bracelets, costume. But it's literally like keep buttons there like Spider-Man. Press it like that. Freaking, you suddenly can overcharge. Anybody touches you, you're not dumb anymore. You're more effective again. And electrical powers are always my favorite, and then this man just gets constantly shit on.
It was like, what was the? It's like Remy in Unordinary. It's like she's my favorite for like several different reasons, but the electric powers are always cool. Man, I need to finish that. I'm so close.
Besides that, is there anything else for us to talk about this week? There's no One Piece. I don't think there's any other series that we're both caught up on for week Shonen Jump, but we'll try to fix that.
Yeah, I don't think it's like Promise Neverland's done.
Yeah.
What else? There was something else. Yeah, Demon Slayer's been done, so that's. I'm trying to think of like everything I've been reading for the last
Samurai
few
8 got
months.
canceled.
Poor Samurai. It had promise.
If it wasn't so exposition heavy and it didn't have H blank in it, we'll pretend we don't know what series we're talking about anyways.
Oh, but yeah, we'll try to add One Piece. Well, we'll add
One
One
Piece
Piece
will be
whenever.
coming back next week. I don't think there was any of these series was on break next week because I know My Hero Academia is coming back with it July 5th. I believe I saw the same for Dr. Stone and Black Clover.
Yeah,
so they should all be
by the way,
back.
do you know? Do you know why they had that weird like? I noticed with I think it was at least Black Clover and Hero Academy. It might have been Dr. Stone. I can't remember, but they all had that weird release date. Like they usually
Oh,
release on
for
like a
this week?
Sunday. Yeah. What was that?
I think there might have been a Japanese holiday or something.
Oh, okay.
Because
I was just wondering because I noticed that
yeah,
it was
they
like the
don't move
release
it
was
too
off.
often because they like to keep it Sundays. But this time, I think they moved it to a holiday, which a lot of times they just like axe it for the week. But I guess since it's been so close to Golden Week, they just don't want to do that.
Since
One
they'd have to
Piece
take
skipped
the
it,
extra break anyway.
so I guess Oda just either he's taking it off for whatever holiday I can't think of. God, we should probably know this.
Well, we just read the chapters. We don't know the regional holidays.
Yeah, but we know like a couple of the important ones for the publication, like
That's
Golden
true.
Week. We know those. We know they take off Christmas. But we really should probably learn other publication holidays that might get in the way, at the bare minimum. But
That'd be a good
we'll
thing to
try
work
to.
on.
We need to add at least one more series because I feel like this is a little light. Besides, with just these four. So.
Well, we got was it Ghost Paradox?
Yeah, we have a couple that you think you can get caught up on, and that I'm already caught up on, and all the ones that you're caught up on that I'm not caught up on, I think are not in this magazine. It's a monthly, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be in the weekly discussion.
Right,
But,
so I think that's where we're ending this one.
okay.
Subscribe to the like button, like the subscribe button. Have a good one.